There are a lot of things happening in life. Even if we don't know about things, we still hold so much of our past. Things that we thought we forgave, moved on, but we didn't. They're still there in our past, in our energy, because our body remembers everything. Remembers every single trauma, every single fear we had, every single thing that we experience every single day. Our body remembers. That's basically it. We just need to be willing to face those fears.
Hey there, everybody. So I'm excited today to welcome Nina Maglic. And so a little bit about Nina. Nina is a marketing architect. She's an author. She's an international speaker. And she's also an energy healer. And she's committed to bringing healing and peace to the world by empowering healers. And as the founder of Healing Millions, she helps heart-centered entrepreneurs build profitable, soul-aligned businesses that expand their impact. And with over 18 years of marketing experience, including collaborations with Fortune 500 companies across the USA and Europe, Nina blends high-level business strategy with deep energy work and mindset transformation. Through her signature illuminated experience, she helps healers unlock their potential, attract aligned clients, and build thriving businesses doing the work that they love. Nina's mission is about more than just building businesses. It's about creating a global ripple effect of healing, peace, and positive change. And with that said, I'd just like to welcome Nina to the show today. Welcome, Nina.
Hello, Edmund. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. Thank you so much for having me here. And everybody who is watching or listening, hello and welcome. It's going to be an amazing show today.
It most definitely is. Fantastic. Give us a little bit more about your background, before we get started. And then maybe what was that, give us a little bit more about your background in terms of what shaped you who you are today. Can you start at the beginning?
Yes, of course. I'm super excited about that. I have been working in marketing for more than 18 years, but 7 years ago, I became very, very sick. And that was a point in my life when I couldn't work anymore. I couldn't do anything because I was so sick. I had painful cramps. Every time when I had a cramp, I couldn't do anything. I was paralyzed from pain for 1 hour. And I had 5 to 8 cramps per day, regardless of time of the day, regardless what I ate, what I did. I just had the pain. It became really, really hard to live with that pain. And I spent 18 months going to the doctors, trying to find a cure for my pain. I did all blood tests, all body scans. Nothing showed why I had the pain. And there was a moment at the hospital when they told me it's going to take us years to find the root cause of your problem. And I said, I don't want to live one more day with this pain. I left the hospital defeated, crying. I said, this is not life anymore. I need to find a solution. If one person can heal, I can heal too. It's possible. My body is telling me something, but I have no clue what that is. I really couldn't understand what that is. And I started remembering the movie Heal, when they talk about helping people with all kind of diseases and helping them also with the spiritual healers and teachers. And I was thinking to myself, maybe that's the solution. Maybe I should try something else. And on my way home, I scheduled a session with an energy healer. And in 2 sessions, I became pain-free.
Wow.
For the first time after 18 months. And that was for me, I want to know what you know. I want to be able to help myself anytime I need it. I never, ever want to beg for help. So this is how everything started. I started learning about energy healing just to help myself, start doing a lot of courses, start practicing with people from different courses. And all of a sudden, they started referring me to friends and family members. And I realized I was booked weeks in advance. And this was not hobby anymore. This was a real business. And this is how everything started from that moment, from these 2 healing sessions that changed my whole life.
Wow. What a journey. And so you said that it started your background's in marketing, and you were doing that already previously. And then what you're saying is that about 7 years ago, that's when you started to get sick, and then you had a lot of pain in your body, and you had a lot of cramps as well.
Yeah, that was actually a little bit longer than 7 years ago, so almost 8 years ago now. It took me 18 years really to find a cure. 18 months, sorry, to find a cure for my pain. Yeah, 18 months going to the doctors, crying, trying to find help, visiting doctors in 3 different countries.
What was the most challenging point in time when you were doing that? Was it at the beginning part when you had first gotten sick? Or was there a certain stage where it was like more particularly challenging than another?
Yes, I did a lot of blood tests. I did a lot of body scans, and you always hope they will find something, but never find anything. And you have a pain, and they don't know why. And the only thing what they gave you, like that they gave me, were antibiotics and
Yeah.
all like some other medicine, but it didn't help me. I was like, is there anything we can do to help me? And it was really, really challenging. Like the hardest thing is when they say to you, like, it's going to take us years to find the root cause of the problem.
Yeah.
And I said, like, no, no, I cannot live with this pain one more day. They're like, no, it must be a solution. Maybe you don't know what the solution is, but it must be a solution out there. And I'm going to find that. My whole life, I was somebody who believed, like, it cannot be possible that there is no solution. This is something I always believed. It doesn't matter, is it health or something else. I was like, if one person can do it, I can do it too. That's my mentality. If somebody says no, it doesn't mean no forever. Things change, life change, technology change,
Yeah.
everything develops. So it must be solution. If maybe they don't know about that, it's not that they don't want to tell me. Maybe they just don't know about that. Maybe I can ask another person to help me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was my like, okay, maybe you don't know, but it must be a solution.
Interesting. You had this approach where you're already thinking that you had that perspective, but was there like growing up where this had already shaped your belief to like be able to think, hey, there has to be, there's other solutions out there, or that, like, what shaped this?
Yeah, that's a good point. I grew up in a war,
Uh-huh.
and we learned how to survive. It's a every day is like every day, every single one of us tried to survive and live our best life. But when you live in a war and you have a limited resources and you have a limited options, you become very creative. And like that there must be solution for something. Like maybe you don't have access to that, but it must be there, out there.
Yeah. And so, my listeners, this might be their first time listening to you or seeing you. And then, so you said that you lived in a war, you grew up in that. Can you give a little bit of more background about that?
Yes, I grew up in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's a southeastern country in Europe. We had the war. It was really, really challenging and brutal. And this is why actually I'm so passionate about this mission of healing millions and bringing peace to humanity, because I lived through hell. And that's for me very personal to help people heal, because I grew up in a country where we had the 5 wars in 100 years. Every war was worse, even more brutal, like more aggressive. And I knew we cannot find the peace if we don't find peace within ourselves. And we can only find peace within ourselves when we heal parts of us.
You began the search to find a solution to whatever was going on in your body. And so, what was that like? What were you thinking at that point in time? What was your approach? Did you put together a strategy or a plan?
I didn't have a strategy and plan. I was just like, let's figure out. That was the plan. I didn't have a really plan. I just want to say my whole life I was spiritual. My whole life I was doing meditation and yoga. I learned how to do energy healing when I was 14. I learned how to do chakra balancing. But to be honest, as a kid, I really didn't have a clue how powerful that is. My grandmother thought we were just playing, and that was it. I was just, Grandma, can I heal you? Like, I was pretending that I'm a healer. I didn't really know what I was doing, just to be honest. Like, we were trying to play. So she found it as a lot of fun. I found it as a lot of fun, and that was it. And I was listening to a lot of spiritual healers, coaches, but I never thought that I could be one of them, to be honest. I never thought this could be this solution for my pain. You know, I never thought. I just like, I'm so desperate. I tried everything. I have nothing else to lose. I will go for it.
So in your family, were there healers as well?
No, but
No?
in my country, there are a lot of healers, and people use herbs to heal as well, like people like that. So it was still like a part of culture, but it wasn't something I would consider like as a first solution.
Interesting. And then this experience, and then growing up, your grandmother was you two were playing in terms of the energy healing, and that's fascinating because some people everybody has different backgrounds, and so especially growing up, it's like when it comes to it's like I think I talk to different people and I've heard different things, but it's like especially at a young age, some people may have different abilities or be able to do certain things. And the environment is huge. The environment in terms of the people around us and what they might say. And some people might be like, in your particular situation, when you're like doing, even if you're playing or pretending you're doing the energy work, maybe another person, they might be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's silly.
And
And then,
that's true, and it was 30 years ago. 30 years ago, like energy healing wasn't popular at all, and doing it as a teenager wasn't cool. And to be honest, I learned that from people who came to Boston to bring peace, and they start teaching how to do chakra balancing. I learned that from them. Nobody in my family can do energy healing. So I was like the black sheep doing
actually,
something that nobody really believed in. It's like, that's why it wasn't really cool. That's why I never did it. Like I thought I'm playing, I'm just doing things, but I never understood the power of it.
and so that's kind of where initially the seed was planted. And then to present day, you start looking for the solution to be able to fix your body, to be able to get it to feel better.
Yes, I was like, maybe these people can do something because they can feel the energy. And it's like, I have nothing else to lose.
And so and then from there, you jumped in. You mentioned one thing when you were sharing your story. You said that you came across, was it a movie? You said the movie Heal,
Yes,
or
there was a movie called Heal.
yeah.
And I was watching that movie while I was going through all that thing with the doctors, going to doctors. And so like, oh, that's very interesting because I think I found it on Netflix. When you are very sick, when you cannot do so much, what you do? You watch Netflix. So that was what I did.
And what was your biggest realization when you were going through that? Was there an aha that when you watched that, it switched you, it changed something within you?
I start questioning things, and I start like remembering when I was a child, when I really didn't want to go to school. I remember that I was able to get the fever and not to go to school. And even if I was at school, I would get fever, like and they say like, "Hey, you need to go home." It's like, oh, that's cool. So I start questioning those things, and it's like, okay, if I can make myself sick, I can make myself healthy. So how can I figure that out?
Interesting. And when you were making, let me ask you a question. So when you were making yourself sick, was that something that you were like just doing, like, or was it happening? Like,
I don't know. I was doing that as a child. I really didn't pay attention to that. I was just thinking, every time when my father had a business trip and when he had to go, I would get such a bad fever. My mom had to stay at home and take care of me because she didn't know what to do with me. And as soon as father entered the home, I was fine and
yeah.
didn't have a fever. And nobody couldn't explain that. And they're like, you know, they called it miraculous healing. But I was just started questioning everything, and I started to remember, okay, when I was a child, this happened. Okay, if I can do it as a child, maybe I can do reverse process to help myself heal. Maybe there must be solution out there. I refuse to accept that there is no solution.
When your father would come home, was there a shift in your mindset or what you were thinking?
No, I was just
You know,
like happy that
you're
father's
just
home.
happy.
The only thing why I got fever because he left for a business trip.
It's fascinating. Fascinating. And yeah, this was miraculous. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids do that unintentionally. You hear from kids, I have a stomach ache, I cannot do this, I have a fever, especially if they don't want to go to school. Like a lot of kids do that, but we don't pay really attention to that. As adults. We think was just a child thing. But if you think about that, if you did it as a child, if you were able to make yourself sick, you can make yourself healthy.
So you watched the movie Heal, you started to make those connections back to your childhood. And then from there, you found you had some energy healing sessions. That's what it was. How did you go about finding that?
I found this energy healer on Mind Valley, and I
Uh,
booked a session with her sister because she was not doing one-on-one sessions anymore. I booked a session with her sister, and she was in LA. I was in Vienna, and she called me on the phone, and she was on the other side of the world. I was on the other side of the world. But it was very, very interesting because she introduced herself, told me what she's going to do, and then she muted herself. And I was like, what is she doing? What's happening? I have no clue. And it was very interesting. Every time when I had any thoughts, she would unmute herself and she said, "Oh, I'm hearing that you're questioning this, or I hear that you have a question. I'm hearing that you have these thoughts." It's like, oh, how does she know this? It's cool. I want to know that too. So yeah, and it was really, really interesting. I was like, the first session, I was really lost. I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, I was like, I was really nervous. But there was a moment when she unmuted herself and she said to me, "I think you need to let go of some things." And I was thinking to myself, I cannot let that go. I cannot let go past like my past. I will not be me anymore. I was so like, I was a beginner. What can I say? And I was telling it to myself, I cannot let it go. Yeah. If I let it go, I will not be me. And I wish I can go back to time and say to my younger self, you need to let go to become. You really need to let go to become. And after just one session, pain was reduced dramatically. I didn't have so many like pain, cramps, but after the second session, I never had a pain again. And it was really miraculous.
Within the two, amazing. And that had to go with letting go of that old version of you.
Yeah, I needed to be willing to let go the old version of me who was so trying to stay in the past and put so much energy staying in the past instead of living in the present.
What was it about the past? What was it about that version of you that you were like at that point during that first visit, like you didn't want to let it go because like that's what you were associating yourself with, you know? It's like, no, this is me. It's like, no, I'm not gonna let it go. Why am I gonna shift to like this? Like, why am I gonna go to this other version? You know? What was it about that?
She was like telling me to let go of some stories I was telling myself. And I was like, yeah, but that's me. She said, no, these are just stories.
What stories were there? If you don't mind sharing, like, were there specific stories that way our listeners maybe get insight?
I cannot do certain things, or, just a lot of fear that I had from childhood. There are a lot of things, happening in life. Like, even if we don't know about things, we still hold so much of our past. So, things that we thought we forgave, moved on, or like, everything's fine now, but we didn't. They're still there in our past. Um, like in our energy, because our body remembers everything
Hmm.
and remembers every single trauma, every single like fear we had, every single thing that we experience every single day. Our body remembers, and that's it. That's basically it. We just need to be willing to face those fears,
Yeah, yeah,
face
most
those
definitely.
pain, and like see that this doesn't serve me anymore.
No,
And
no.
I have to be honest, I was so ready to heal. I would do no matter what to get my health back. I was in that mentality. I would do no matter what to get my health back. If that means to let go of the part of me, all my stories, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah. You were already ready for that. And that's why you were able to make that bold move, that bold decision to be able to let it go. And now I want to get your perspective on this, but like it's one of the things about it is that a lot of times, like we may think that, just from my experience, we may think that that whatever we're holding on to, it has some sort of benefit, maybe some sort of positive benefit to whatever it is that we're doing in life. Can you share, was that stuff going on in terms of why at that point in time you were still holding on to those things? Like, was there some sort of like benefit that you thought that like, hey, this thing is helping me, but if I let it go, then it's not, it's like, does that make sense?
Yeah, I thought that the fear that I had is keeping me alive. Because it did help me stay alive when I was a child, when we were in war. It really did help me. But nowadays, like, there's no war anymore. There's no danger. Like, I can't let it go.
And so that was helping you during the wartime because that was putting you into that protection mode.
Yeah, you get the extra adrenaline kick and you find solution quickly. You are able to help yourself when you hear grenades or whatever that is. You are able to help yourself and like save yourself. But nowadays in my country where I live now in Austria, we don't have a war. So
Yes.
I don't have to live in that constant fear
Yeah,
that I will die.
definitely. And so for our listeners, like there's a huge difference. Like being in that state's not being in that state's not necessarily bad. It has its purpose in those type of situations. Right. So for example, if you are in that war, it's like, okay, that's gonna be there to protect you in that state. It's that protection state, it's that fight or flight. But then to be to be locked into that state long term, it might not necessarily be as good for the body because then the body is always like, what's the next threat? What's the next danger? And then it might not be able to relax or rest and recover. And so I think it's interesting that when you finally were able to let that stuff go, it's almost like your body was able to like breathe, right? It's able to relax.
And it was really so helpful. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. If we like, I just want to say to everybody, like, nobody wants to live in pain and trauma. Nobody. Everybody wants to be happy and live a happy life. Thing is, nobody taught us how to process our emotions. We never
Yeah.
learned that. And we try to help ourselves so many times. We do journaling, we do meditation, we do all kind of things. And the thing is, the more you do, the more emotions come up. And we have no clue like how to deal with them. And we think this method doesn't work. It works because it's showing you what doesn't serve you anymore. you know but it's really really hard because we never learn how to deal with our emotions, how to release sadness, how to release anger, how to release a lot of things that happen to us, a lot of pain that we still hold on to. And I just want to give everybody like the message is like, if you're feeling that way, it's okay. Nobody taught you how to change that. But now you have resources, you have opportunities to change that. And you can stay stuck in that situation for the next 30, 40, 50 years, or you can choose to change, as I did. Like, I was done with my pain. I was like, that's it. I need to find a solution.
And your story resonates with me because like even for myself, I went through something similar where I had a lot of pain in my own body. This was in my early 30s. And just like I was searching for different solutions. And I was looking and looking and looking and searching. And then very similar to you, eventually it's like, oh, hey, I start to discover the connections as well. that, hey, it was, it's about letting some of these things go. And the things that were showing up in my body, maybe the physical pain or the discomfort or things that were going on, it's like it wasn't like a bad thing. It was just like my body being like, hey, it's like pay attention. It's like pay attention.
Exactly. That's it. Like, if I just want to say, like, everything what I went through wasn't so bad because I gained so many new lessons. I gained so many skills and gifts that helped me become who I am today. So that really journey shaped me to become who I am. And I'm so grateful for every single moment of that. I would not change anything because,
Yeah.
now I can go back and say, wow, that really helped me a lot. Even though at that moment, when that happened, I hated it. I really hated every single moment of that. But now, when I look back, I just realized all bad things are not really bad. It's just our perspective, how we see things. And I love to do gift process, which is I put all of the bad things that happened to me, and I always ask myself, okay, what did I learn from this? What kind of skills I gained from this process? And when you look at that from that perspective, you will notice, oh my God, that really benefited me to become who I am today.
And so that process, is that something that you do? Is that something that you were doing in the past when those perceived bad things were happening, or is that something that you're doing it from the perspective of now, where you're looking back on those past experiences, like, okay, those things that I perceived in the past that were bad, they're actually not. They're good things
Yeah, actually, this is how I look at it. I write down everything that happened.
that happen.
I cannot change the past, but I can change how I respond to that. And this is the first thing in changing that, how I respond to that, what kind of gifts I got from that. Even though this is one of these gifts, what you mentioned, like, where you're always like that, there must be a solution. Even though I grew up in a war, it was horrible to be there. I got this gift to be able to find a solution. And everybody's saying there's no solution. And that this is how it works. Sometimes the experience you had, you think they are the worst experience somebody could ever have. But when you look back, oh my God, how much they benefited you to become who you really are.
Most definitely. And a lot of times it can just be the beginning of an awakening, like something to shake a person. And it's just a matter of, how a person uses that moment, which could be a breakdown moment, and whether they choose to use that as a moment to be able to break through, right? To break through to that next stage, to that next level of themselves. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which you were able to do, in those past situations that you shared. And so that's really cool. That's really cool. You had those two energy healing sessions, right? You had those 2 energy sessions, and then you got better. You're like, wow. And then what happened next? Where did that lead you on your journey?
Oh my God, I became obsessed about energy healing. I started doing it as much as I can. I started doing energy healing courses, start practicing with my friends and family members, like family members who were open to that, and friends who were open to that. Not everybody's open to energy healing, and that's fine. Everybody has their own divine timing, and that's okay. And I started practicing with people from different courses. This is how my day looked like. I woke up at 5 in the morning, start working on myself from 5 to 8. I was working on myself every single day because I really wanted to release everything like as much as humanly possible, which was very, very ambitious. I would just say that. The thing is, you want to release as much as possible, but you don't want to do it at once because your body still needs time to adjust, to new energy. You know what I'm talking like? It's
You're
like,
like, I'm gonna go 3 hours each day. I'm gonna get rid of it all. Let's
let's
remove
clean the
it.
lab.
Let's shift. And meanwhile, your energy is just like, it's like you're shifting. It's like,
Yeah. But the truth is, body needs time to really adjust to new energy and go through whole process, and then like as I mentioned too, like I did it for months, like waking up at 5 and until 8, I worked on myself. And then I started working with other people, like practicing and doing sessions with clients. And that was my day, 14, 16 hours energy healing work. And the more I did
Quick
it, the better
question.
I felt.
When you say energy healing, energy work, can you give what your definition of that is for people listening in?
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for that question. Energy healing, I just want to explain it in a very simple way that everybody can understand that. So, when scientists started researching our bodies, they found out our bodies are made of organs. Organs are made of cells. When they started researching cells, they found out, okay, cells are made from atoms. Atoms are made from from small pieces. And when they started researching small pieces from atom, like they found that there was nothing there, just empty space and energy. So you are, my friend, 99.9999% energy. And the only thing what we see is less than 0.00001%, which is matter. So basically, if you are listening to me now, you're using your energy to listen to me. Everybody has energy. Without energy, you would not be here. If you're eating, if you're sleeping, if you're drinking, whatever you do, like you use your energy. Without energy, you would not be here. That's very important. So everybody has it and everybody uses it. But the only thing is, most people are not even aware of that. What energy healing teaches you is how to use your energy in a way that serves you best to release any energy blockages in your body. And energy blockages in your body are usually created when you feel certain emotions, usually like when you feel like a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, anger, guilt, blame, shame. What happens in your body, in your energy body, there are some blockages that are created, and energy cannot flow easily through your body, and energy gets stuck. And over the time, it can develop an illness. So this is basically what's happening with your body. And energy healing is really just using energy intentionally that serves you best, and learn how to release those blockages inside of your body so you can feel better. And over time, it can really, really help you heal what you're going through.
Beautiful. I love that. And that gives the people listening much more insight into like, okay, what is this thing that we're talking about? And when you mentioned that you were working on yourself and other people, it's like for the energy healing, the energy work. I think you touched on this earlier. It's not dependent on a person being in the same physical room as you, right? It can be like kind of like with your experience with the first person that you work with, right? They were on the phone with you.
Yeah, actually, the thing is, we are all connected. Even though we don't know that, we are all super connected. And you don't have to be in the same room, in the same country. You can be in completely different country, on completely different continent. We are still connected. We can still communicate. I can still scan your body and see what's happening. I can still feel what you feel,
Yeah.
and I can still see what happened to you. And that's okay. Everybody can do it. I just want to say, like, I thought that I'm not an energy healer. I'm not the chosen one. I always thought you have to be blessed by God to be like that. The truth is, every single person can do it. Every single person has the ability to do it. The truth is, we never learned how to do it. That's it. And when you learn how to do it, first of all, you help yourself feel better. You choose how you're going to feel today, because you are able to release those blockages inside of your body so you can feel better today. And you create your life intentionally. And that's a beautiful thing. And what energy healing helps you is really release any attachment to the past. So you are going to be able to go back to the past, still have memories, but not feel any emotions attached to that, not feeling any sadness, anger, guilt, blame, shame, all kind of things that we feel. And that's for me the true liberation. Being liberated from the past, being liberated from our thoughts, emotions from the past. Oh my God, that's priceless.
It is priceless. And I like what you share I like what you shared earlier about how you said that anybody can learn this. They can learn this skill set. It's not something that you just have to go to somebody who has that expertise and just be like, okay, hey, it's like, can you heal me, or can you help me out? It's like what you're saying, what you're sharing is that a person can learn this, and so they can, in a sense, empower themselves, right? To be able to take responsibility for their own life and to be able to make that decision in terms of what it is that they choose, that they want to change within their own life, or to be able to let go. Maybe something that doesn't serve them anymore, an old story, an old belief that it's like, oh, this is not me anymore, and they want to step from that old version of themselves into that newer version of themselves that might be more lighter, that might be more free, that might be more happy and joyful and peaceful and bliss, right? Versus like, oh, just stuck in that like fear, right? Or stuck in that anger or that resentment or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you choose how you want to feel, and you have a tools to help yourself anytime you need it. So it doesn't mean when you do energy healing work, you will not feel sadness. You will not feel like all kind of emotions. Life happens to us as it happens to you. Like we live the same life, like same is similar life. But the truth is, every time when you feel the emotions you don't want to feel anymore, every time when you don't want to be stuck anymore, every time when you don't want to be sad, you have a tool to help yourself, and that's really beautiful. And I just want to comment on something what you said, like tuning into your body to feel how you feel. And the truth is, like nowadays, we are so disconnected from our bodies. We feel so numb. We don't have any feelings. We are so disconnected. And the truth is, a few thousand years ago, we were so attuned into our body. We start paying attention to what is happening in our body. This is how people help themselves thousands of years ago. So over the time, as technology developed, as everything developed, we started relying on other things to help us instead of really feeling and seeing how do I feel right now? What do I believe is going to help me? You know, and really start feeling what's inside of your body, start paying attention what's happening inside of your body. Your body is constantly talking to you. Like it was talking to me, but I didn't understand what was that. And the same is if you have any kind of pain and discomfort, your body is telling you something. Start paying attention to that.
Definitely, there are things to pay attention to, and I think when you talk about it, it's like yeah, with so many there's and to be able to tune into the body, especially in this day and age, it's like even for me, I mean, there's challenges depending on the day or the week or maybe where I'm located. It's like sometimes, especially with all the technology, you mentioned the technology, right? It's like we have our phones, we have our text message, we have emails, we have maybe our computer, internet, we have, what is it? There's other things like, and there's people grabbing for attention. It's like when that stuff is just constantly pulling, it can make it, especially at work and our personal, it can make it hard to, or more challenging at least, to be able to kind of just slow down and then just like tune into the body. It's like, oh, it's like my body's communicating in this way, right? It's like, oh, maybe that little pain or that discomfort, it's like, oh, it's there. Versus like, oh, let's brush that away and let me get back to my life, right? Let me get back
Yeah,
to doing the things.
I agree with you. But sometimes it's really, really hard if you have a lot of things on your plate and if you have such a busy life. But I remember when I started doing energy healing, one of my coaches wanted me to set alarm every hour to tune in to see how I feel right now and change that. If I didn't like something, to really shape and change the energy inside of me. So that really helped me. When you start doing it, it's really hard because you're not used to that.
Yeah.
You're used to stay focused on your work and don't get disturbed. But sometimes you have to stop for just a few seconds or minutes just to feel how you feel. And when I started doing it, I start feeling better in less than 5 days. The whole
Nice.
thing changes because you start feeling like, okay, how do I feel right now? I had the tools to help myself and really feel differently. But there's so many possibilities nowadays. Like the truth is, it's really hard because nobody taught us how to do it. And we need to go on our own journey to experience it. And energy healing is something you really need to experience in order to say something about that, because you cannot really learn it from books, from other people's experiences. You need to experience yourself to see how it works for you. How do you feel after that? And that's the most important thing, is my experience is unique. Your experience is unique. And just give yourself a chance to try it and experience it. I promise you, you will definitely love it. If people usually ask me, like, what is the worst thing that can happen? Like, you can just be tired and sleep after the session. That's it. Because your body is processing so much and you just can go and sleep. And
Definitely.
just give yourself a chance to try it.
It's processing, sleeping, and those can be called what people call it different things. They can be corrective changes. They can be called healing crisis. Everybody kind of calls it a little bit of a different thing. And so that could just be the body. It could just be the body's way of integrating or possibly shifting, right?
Yes.
So we took a little segue, but I want to go back really quick. So now we have a better explanation of what this energy healing is. All right. So you were doing this work on yourself. You were doing like 3 hours every morning, like, okay, doing the energy work on yourself. And then you started to work with your family or friends that were receptive to this. Keep going. Sure.
Yeah, that was actually it. I was just trying to do it. Basically, I never thought I'm going to become a healer, but the universe had different plans for me. And it's really just develops as it develops. Like, I was just trying to learn. I was practicing every single day. I started learning different modalities. The truth is, once you get into this world, you love it so much, you want to learn every single thing and every single tool and technique. And there's such a trap in this world, like in this healing world, that people think, I need to do another course. I need to do another course. I need to do this. I need to do this. The truth is, we need to practice more. That's the truth. Like, you need to practice more. You need to really put into work what you learn. And over the time, you will develop your own healing skills and your own tools, and you will actually be guided to use energy healing in a way that serves you best and serves your clients best.
That's amazing. That no, that's what you said there is 100%. That's what I've seen as well on my own journey. It's like there's so many different modalities out there. Even myself, it's like I haven't shared this too much with you, but I went on that one journey as well, where I was like, I was obsessed. Like, I was like, oh, I want to learn everything. And so, like, over a few year period, I was learning. I was always in classes, always learning something new. And I must have learned like 10, 15 different modalities and things. And then eventually it's like, and I could see all the different people in my classes. Like, people were always jumping from one class to another class, another class. But then, similar to what you kind of just shared right now, my experience was similar as well. It's like, after a while, I was like, okay, I'm good. And then it's almost like you start to work with what you have, and then it kind of shows you. You start to kind of make it your own and kind of play with it.
Yes. I think, especially at the beginning, we don't have so much confidence in ourselves, because it's new, something new to us. But the more you practice, the better it becomes. I still remember my first healing session. Like, I was so obsessed that everything goes in a certain way, that I'd follow the certain rules. Like, and the thing is, the more you stress yourself about the structure and how you're going to do this and that, you block yourself from doing it and having fun and enjoying it. And the more fun you have, the more you enjoy it, the more you're playful, the easier it is. It really becomes so much fun and enjoyable to do it when you just allow yourself to do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's going to be exactly what person needs.
Yeah.
You're going to be guided in a way that is going to serve your client best. It's not maybe the perfect because you didn't follow certain rules, but it was exactly what client needed.
So going back to the thoughts and stuff like that. And so on your journey, right, you've come across different people. You come across different people in your life, maybe different teachers and stuff. People have different beliefs. And so what's your experience been with, like, when you listen to people, could be just random people, could be like, teachers and mentors, they share beliefs. So when that happens, what do you do? Do you take those, do you like kind of openly like believe what they say like 100%? Or do you kind of, what's your approach with that?
I tune in to see what resonates with me. I really don't like trust every single word I hear. I let people talk whatever they want to talk, but I check within myself to see if this resonates with me. That's the most important thing. Like what I think about that, how I feel about that, and that's it. I think that every single person has his or her own opinion, and everybody believes they are telling truth. They are telling truth from their perspective, from their lenses. But maybe my truth is a little bit different, and that's okay.
One of the things that I've had to realize, or I've had to learn along the way, is that I've come across different teachers and different mentors on my own journey, and on this journey, there can appear to be people who like you look up to and you respect them, and then it's just like, oh hey, it's like depending on what stage you're at, or you look at them, you're like, oh hey, what they're saying is like, oh, this person's wise, this person's like filled with wisdom. It's like, oh hey, they're on this level, and then oh maybe I might be here. And then it's just like kind of openly like, oh, because they said this, right? Or because that's their beliefs or that's their perspective. It's like, oh, okay, they must be right. And but it's not always the case, right? That's kind of what I've seen. It's
Yeah,
not always
that's
the case because it's shaped by their own experiences, by their own belief systems. And just because they believe it, it's true for them because they believe it. But I don't necessarily, for me, I don't necessarily have to take on all of that. Maybe I can take the pieces that resonate with me. And I can just leave the rest. I can take the best and I can leave the rest. And so that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn along the way. And I know that for you, you have your own process as well, where you're able to decide, where you're able to kind of tune in, and you can decide right there, when you hear them or when you connect to the person, like whether that's for you or not. And then kind of, and this is great, like segue into what you're doing now, because we talked a lot about the energy work that that you've been doing for yourself and your clients, which takes us to like now, what are you doing? You're moving into you're in this other space now. Can you share a little bit more of what's happening there?
Yes, now my mission is to build a movement to bring peace and healing to the world by helping other healers reach more people, heal more people, so together we can heal millions. That's the mission I have, to heal millions. And I cannot do this alone. I need people to help me. And that's the mission I'm on right now, because I truly, truly believe the world needs love, healing, and peace. And we can only do it if we do it together.
Because we're all connected. As you continue on this path, as you continue on this journey of moving towards this mission, so like, yeah, what do you envision happening overall to maybe the people that you're working with, or maybe the planet as a whole, the collective?
The planet as a collective is shifting and moving, and it's going in a positive direction. Even though it doesn't look like that, it is. It's going to in a positive direction. First, we need to see what we don't want to have in our life in the future, so that we can heal it, release it, and move on with the things that we want to have in the future. That's the most important thing. I see that right now we're going through a lot of shifts, but even like in a positive direction, even though it looks like, oh my God, everything's so bad. It's not really. We're just releasing things that do not serve us anymore. And we need to become aware of that to be able to release them and leave them behind. I truly believe if we reunite together, if we really, everybody does what he or she is doing the best, you know, you're helping your clients in a certain way that are unique to you. And that's amazing, and if everybody can do the work the way we do it, oh my God, we will like do so many good things for humanity. Because you have to understand, we have 8 billion people on this planet. Human healers need healing. That's the truth. Like every single person on this planet needs a little bit of healing, a little bit love, a little bit more. But we all need healing and we all need love and we want to live in peace.
And so, what's next now? What's next now, Nina, for you? Like, what are you working on now?
As I mentioned to you, this mission is really not about me. I really want to create beautiful movement and I want to empower healers and I want to give them tools so they can build business that makes their soul smile and also helps other and brings healing to humanity. That's the most important thing right now, like helping as many healers as possible. And my next project is going to be a big event in Vienna where we bring healing and peace to Europe. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Maybe next year, maybe in 2 years. But yeah, that's the big project that I'm working on.
And so, I noticed that behind you, you have your book, right?
Yes, that's my
Yes.
book.
Can I
Healing
see it?
Feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see,
Uh,
this is a heart. This is a healing heart. As you can see, this is the light we emanate when we heal. And all these butterflies, these are the people that are transformed by our light. That's why it's called healing minutes. You know, when you heal, you not only heal yourself, you heal people around you. And there's a huge ripple effect in society. And even now, when we have such a challenging situation in the world, the best thing what we can do is start working ourselves and raising our vibration because we also help others raise their vibration because we are all connected. And it's really beautiful process. When you heal people around you, and there's a huge ripple effect in society. And these are all beautiful butterflies.
it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's the mission. And I'm so excited about that. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no, definitely. And for that book, what are the when it comes to healers and people doing this work, to be able to move towards that mission, what are some of the biggest challenges that you see, that they might deal with?
I think the mindset is the biggest problem. A lot of them don't really believe they can be successful. They are not worthy of success. It's hard to charge for things they do. It's fear of visibility, fear of judgment, fear of selling.
Yeah,
There's so many things that are going on. I think that's the biggest issue here, mindset. Then we have like strategy. And nobody taught us how to be entrepreneurs. You figure that out because you just do it and you try to find out. And they need a strategy that works for healing industry and works for them, that is aligned with their values and for their stages of business. Because not every strategy is right for you and for your stage of business. We know that. And yeah, that's the thing. And if you choose the wrong strategy you don't like, you subconsciously sabotage your business because you hate the strategy, And the thing is, a lot of people don't like even know what kind of business they're building. And like they are building a business according to someone else's dreams. And very often they forget to ask themselves, what do I want? And the next thing is really, really hard to build a business in a very unsupportive environment. And a lot of healers have that issue that people don't believe this is a real job because it's not traditional job. We're talking to a camera, we're talking to people on the other side of the world using technology. Yeah, it's really hard to build a business in very unsupportive environment where people try to put you down, and there is something inside of you that this burning desire to help people. But if you have the wrong mindset, the wrong strategy, the wrong community, it's really hard. And every single one of these things are influencing like business and what you do.
yeah, yeah.
Like
It is.
mindset influences strategy, strategy influences like everything. It's it's a loop of all these things.
And so those are different things that you address within your book. Is that what it is? Yeah. And I love how you make that connection and that you share the different aspects of it, going back to like the mindset and going back to the different underlying things that may be possibly sabotaging a person or to be shaping how they're living in life. And then so you cover that aspect, but then you also cover the strategy, right? The implementation, like the action. But it's not just that, according to what you said, because you can do it because everybody has that information. But if it's not aligned with who you are,
It's
right,
going to be
then
hard.
it's going to be harder, right? It might not work.
Yeah. And it's also like, if you really, really want to help your clients and change their lives, you cannot sell like just one-off sessions. And the thing is, like we all know, like I had a miraculous healing because I was ready. I was done in my pain. That was an exception. But a lot of people, when they try to heal, there's so much going on in their life. They have their own challenges. They have their own emotions. They have challenges with their families, with their friends, co-workers. Life gets in the way. There's so much going on. And if you really want to help people to heal, you need to take them on a journey and provide the best possible support for them to heal. And one session is not enough because you need to help people build sustainable habits that are going to help them when you stop working with them. They need to have habits that are going to help them continue healing and to continue growing. Because right now the habits they have are the habits that brought them in the situation they're currently in. They are stuck in pain. So you need to really start thinking about the offer, how you create the offer, and how you help people in the best possible way, and really focus on the client and focus on delivering results for clients. That's the most important thing. Like, selling is not bad. It's not evil. It's just helping your clients solve the biggest problems they're praying and hoping to get solved. It's an act of service and help. And marketing is not bad. It's not evil. It's just a tool to tell people what you do and how you can help them. People are looking for a solution. If you have a great solution, it's just the perfect match in the universe. It's not really anything bad. You're helping people
Yeah,
get out of pain. Like
definitely.
that person helped me get out of pain, and I can never forget that.
And so for those listening, it's like they're hearing that. They're like, oh, okay, marketing's okay. Sales is okay. But then they might have something inside. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not. But I love what you said about how even with the sessions, it's not a one-off type of thing. It's not a one session and two session type thing. And there's a focus on a continuity, because I think it's similar what you said, even within the energy work sessions, right? It's kind of like we live in a world where it's like people are always looking for like, oh, like I got a pain here and like I wanna fix it. Can you fix me? We're in the fix it world, right? It's like fix it. It's like, okay, did you fix me? Oh, I feel better. Okay, I'm good. versus a focus on wellness, right? A focus on wellness and being like that journey of just constantly improving and getting better and healing and going deeper and deeper and deeper. And I think that can sometimes that mentality, it can sometimes stay it can sometimes be there, even within the energy sessions and stuff like that, where it's just like, oh, is it a one session type thing that's going to get rid of this? But then what you're saying is like, it's not a one session thing that's going to get rid of this thing. No.
Yeah. It's just like it's really paying attention to what is happening in your body. If you really want to have a sustainable change, not just to fix the problem, but really change the life and stop living in the pain, you really need to understand why you have a pain and what triggers that pain and work on that issue. And if you really want to have sustainable solution, you need to be willing to spend some time working on that and working on yourself, because you cannot just take a shower once and expect to be clean for the rest of your life. Life gets in the way. You go to work, you do all these things. You cannot expect to be clean, because you have to understand every single day we have a lot of challenges. we have a life, we have a work, we have families. There's so many things happening. Somebody dies, there's constantly changes in our life. But the thing is, this is a lifelong process. This is not really just fix me process. This is really digging deep, looking what is out of alignment inside of you and helping you release that and refocus what you really want, how you want your life to be, and start creating your life with attention. Because your thoughts create reality, your energy creates reality. And that's why it's really, really, it's not nice to have, it's must to have to learn how to use your energy intentionally that serves you best and helps you in a way that you can wake up in the morning, feel excited and happy again.
Very cool. And so, as we wrap up, Nina, how can people find you?
Thank you so much for asking me that. You can find me on my website, linamaglic.com, on my YouTube channel, Nina Maglic, healingmillions.com. And yeah, we are so excited to connect with you, help you, encourage you, motivate you, inspire you to grow and do the work you love. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for the work you do.
I'll just end up with this. Like on our website, this is what I see. It says, "The world needs your unique soul gifts and talents to shine as bright as you can, so you can illuminate light in the darkness, give hopes and dreams back to those who lost them long ago. It's time to fully express yourself, become a powerful leader, take a stand for your soul mission, and do the work that you were born to do." Yeah, that's beautiful right there. And so, as we wrap up, any last words that you want to share for anybody who's listening who may be going through a particularly challenging time in their life, or they might be experiencing some sort of breakdown moment or something like that, or maybe they're just living life right now, and they're just going through life.
Everybody who is listening or watching and who feels stuck in their life, and who, if you have pain, if you're searching for your cure, and it must be a solution for you. You haven't found it yet. Keep searching, keep looking for a solution. And for everybody who is listening or watching, who want to help, who want to inspire people with their stories and the work they do, I just want to say, be brave, shine your light, because the world needs that love and light inside of you more than ever. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much, Edmund, for having me on your show. Thank you so much for beautiful questions. I truly hope we inspire somebody to take action and create a better life and experience their breakthrough. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Nina. You're welcome. And thank you so much for being on today's show with me. I appreciate you. And hopefully that whatever we were discussing today, is going to be able to shift. Whoever is out there listening is going to be able to shift. Your mindset is going to be a shift. It's going to be able to shift an aspect of you to be able to step into that next version of yourself, whatever that may be.